At the age of 21, I was faced with a decision, a ridiculous decision, and one that I didn't think I would ever be facing in my life. Whether I was going to continue my training in becoming a doctor, or whether I was going to quit and become a comedian. And then I remembered that as a young Asian man, you're one of 3 Ds. You're either a doctor, a dentist, or a disappointment to your parents. That's it. Thanks, Mum and Dad. I've been lucky enough to be able to do both of these things in my life. But these worlds, medicine and comedy, they aren't as different as you might think. Both jobs are about gaining trust, communicating clearly, and experiencing death. Whether it's on the elderly medicine ward in an inner city hospital, or an open mic night in the dodgy part of Manchester with a broken microphone and the Eurozone in the background. Not that that's ever happened to me. Today I wanted to share with you something so simple, but so powerful, that laughter is more than just funny. It's a tool to connect us, and it's medicine. Now, before we begin, I want to try something with all of you today. An experiment. Now, I want a fake laugh from everyone for 10 seconds. Okay? And you heard me right. And it might feel awkward, so if it feels awkward, just close your eyes, pretend you're the only one here. Just don't imagine me naked. Okay, I'm going to ease you into it. So if we can start with a smile, some smiles. Smiles around. That's it, big smiles. And then a bit of a giggle. Bit more, and bring it up into a big laugh from the belly. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cut. Wow. It's just like being at one of my comedy shows. Amazing. What's happening when you're laughing? Your brain is releasing a cocktail of feel-good chemicals. Endorphins, dopamine, serotonin. But here's the thing. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and fake laughter. You're already benefiting even if you didn't mean to. It's a real-life embodiment of the old showbiz phrase, fake it till you make it. Useful advice for your first few comedy shows, not as useful when you're learning to do brain surgery. The question about why we laugh and what laughter does to us isn't a new one. French philosopher Henri Bergson spent much of his life trying to understand exactly this. You can tell he's French because of the hat. In 1927, he writes, "Laughter always implies a kind of secret Freemasonry, or even complicity with other laughers, real or imaginary." He concluded that laughter actually connects us. It shapes society and transforms the human experience. And this idea of powerful laughter in a consultation, it's more than just a moment. It's a bridge between me and my patient. Laughter helps diffuse tension, make a complex medical concept much more approachable, and as Bergson describes, it connects us in ways we can't articulate, but we can feel. I want to share a story with you. Josephine came to visit me in my GP surgery, saying, as many of us do, that she feels tired. Now, this is bread and butter for us GPs, or more naan and ghee for me. Is there a physical cause? Does she have low B12, low iron? We run all the tests, all normal. She comes back to see me the following week, dressed in a beige cardigan and large glasses. She tells me about her daughter, who passed away in her 30s in a car accident. She says she used to love to dance, but she can't anymore because of her knees. And that other than coming today to the surgery to see me, she hasn't left the house. And we talk more, and I try and make her laugh. I say it's a shame we didn't meet 6 years earlier, as I would have loved to learn how to dance. That the test came back normal, but they're on the house this time. And she chuckles. I explain I think her loneliness might be related to her isolation. And she nods, declines any intervention, but says she wants to speak again. Over the next 6 months, I see Josephine 4 more times, each time learning more about her and trying to make her laugh. And 6 months later, she says she feels better. Now, medically, I haven't done anything. And in medicine, we always feel like we need to be doing something to prescribe that medication, to run that test. We can't just do nothing. But this isn't nothing. This is what I like to call connecting by laughter and conversation. And humor does more than just connect us. It changes us physiologically and emotionally with measurable effects on the body and mind. Who here experiences stress on a daily basis? Yeah? When you're stressed, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response. Your pupils dilate, your heart rate increases, your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on a sweater already. It really is the M&M response of the body. The hormone that's responsible is called cortisol, the stress hormone. Laughter has been shown in evidence to reduce cortisol levels by almost a third. Now that is really significant. It can slash your stress by a third, and the way it does this is by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, telling the adrenal glands to reduce the production of cortisol. Well, why is this important? 1, because I'm speaking about it, but 2, chronic stress is linked to a number of physical health conditions, including heart disease, diabetes. It can affect your immune system, your memory. You know how much GPs love to speak about blood pressure. A meta-analysis looked at 28 different studies and the relationship between laughter and blood pressure. And it found that regular laughter can actually reduce your blood pressure by between 3 and 4%. And this effect is even greater if you already have a diagnosis of high blood pressure. So the next time you see your doctor, it might be less sugar, less salt, more Kevin Hart. In 1964, Norman Cousins, not French, no hat, a professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences at the University of California, was diagnosed with a connective tissue disease, a condition that causes widespread joint inflammation, stiffness, and pain. Nowadays, a manageable condition with biological medical agents. But in 1964, a death sentence, and horrendously painful. Told that there were no treatments, he prescribed for himself self-induced bouts of laughter from comedy films and TV shows. And he writes about his experiences in his book, Anatomy of an Illness as Perceived by the Patient. And he writes, "I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter gave me an anesthetic effect that would give me at least 2 hours of pain-free sleep." Laughter is nature's painkiller, and the only side effect is looking slightly unhinged if you do it alone in public. Now, laughter does this by triggering the release of endorphins. And endorphins are natural pain blockers, and they work in two ways. First of all, endorphins block the release of substance P from the spinal cord, a protein that carries pain signals. Secondly, endorphins bind to opioid receptors in the central nervous system. Now, these opioid receptors end up increasing the amount of dopamine in our central nervous system. These opioid receptors, the same ones that we target with medications like morphine. Morphine, much more potent, a number of side effects, really addictive. Now imagine that you can get a slice of that benefit just by laughing. As we become older, pain becomes a bigger part of life. In older adults in nursing home, laughter therapy and humor therapy has been found to ease loneliness, increase happiness, and reduce pain. Over the past few years, we've been through some of the most trying times of humankind. Locked in our own houses, scared of coming into contact with other people. The Office of National Statistics reports that 1 in 4 adults in the UK report high levels of anxiety. Now, this is one of the worst things to come out of the pandemic, second only to the DIY mullet haircut. The evidence shows that laughter can actually reduce levels of depression and anxiety. And this evidence is from a meta-analysis of 31 studies involving over 1,500 participants. Some of them use laughter therapy, some use comedy shows and TV shows, some even use clowns, which are really the studies I would have loved to have been part of. And what amazes me about the research is that the biggest impact that laughter has is on anxiety. But the level of impact it can have seems to be comparable to cognitive behavioral therapy and to medication, the ways we're currently managing anxiety. And it does this by increasing the dopamine and increasing the serotonin. Serotonin, the chemical that we're artificially trying to replace with medications. The power of laughter is incredible, and it doesn't have to be prescriptive. Yes, laugh at therapy or yoga, or just laugh at TV shows and films. Your mission is to find what makes you laugh. And there's no right amount. Don't make it hard. Start with just 2 minutes a day. Every day from here, you're going to ask yourself the question, have I laughed today for 2 minutes? And if you haven't, I've seen that you can do a great fake laugh. Some of you. My message here isn't ditch the medications and binge watch How I Met Your Mother, mainly because no one's ever laughed at that. Do you enjoy that one? But it's that we have this powerful, free tool that we can use as an adjunct in our everyday lives. This tool to connect us and bond us. You've heard of singing in the shower. Well, why can't we bring in laughing in the bathtub? Just check with your neighbors first. So here's your prescription from Dr. Kiran. Laugh. Laugh when you're happy. Laugh when you're sad. Laugh especially when life feels overwhelming. Because laughter is more than just a reaction. It can be a choice. And as I hope I've shown you, a powerful form of medicine. Thank you.